Good morning, everybody. It is June 16th, Wednesday. And uh, I was going to explain, I got some more kind of information to share. And I'm going to basically explain, or kind of explain to me, of why this is taking so long. You know, how a bunch of us have waited for some sort of action on what's. We know that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, so we know that for sure. But we're all sort of like, okay, when's it gonna be really obvious? It's starting to get more obvious. Like there's, well, I mean, take for instance these big buildings around the world, or like Buckingham Palace or the Vatican, and everything. They've all been vacated. They're all kind of closed and shut down, including the White House. And now the FBI building, Washington, is shut down and abandoned, sort of. So these are kind of a lot of real no-brainer clues. But anyway, it just seems to be like really the slow rollout of basically arrest reveals and things like that. But what I've been told, and I've been told this for a while, but I just kind of confirmed it last night. I wrote down what was told to me. So I'm just going to read it here. It said, basically, this is what's been going on is silent weapons in a kind of a quiet, unseen war. It's all this stuff has been going on behind the scenes. Okay, so what I wrote down here was, it says source, or what we know as God, is letting us do the work to free ourselves. That's why it's kind of dragging on a bit, because they're kind of letting us do the work ourselves for several reasons. Mostly for non-interference, free will, and also it's to test, to see what direction we will go. It's almost like a way of. It's almost like picking sides or something, but it isn't necessarily picking sides like good or evil. It's more like, do you want to stay on this lower dimension, like 3D versus, ascending to 5D? That's kind of a really simple way of me explaining that. That's what they've said. I said most of us are making decisions based on our avatars, that was our physical bodies. We're basing our decisions on that because that's the only reality that we've kind of know, and for the most part, a lot of us want to stay there. It's like our prison cells. It's like if we've opened up all the prison cells and said, okay, you're free now. You're going outside into a world you don't know anything really about, so it's more. You feel more comfortable and more secure going back to your cell. I mean, it's great that your cell door is open now, but a lot of us are kind of wandering back into our jail cells, going, "Well, this is what I remember. This is the reality I remember. I remember, putting those posters up on the wall and using that sink. I'm so familiar with it. So we're used to familiarity. So, but like I said, we're basing a lot of the decisions on our past lives." And it's hard to imagine going forward, so it is difficult. So in a sense, they're the white hats that are doing all this stuff for us are basically kind of watching our reactions and our decisions. Um, uh, but also it says the main test. This is what they keep telling me. The main test is to see what we will do for freedom. What are we willing to sacrifice? Are we willing to fight for it? That's generally what they were saying to me. So this is a test to see how we can break free from this mind control and amnesia systems. That's one of the main reasons why they came in to help us, is because that those systems are a lot stronger than we first estimated. So, um, but like I said, the main test is like to see, can we do it? Can we do this jailbreak ourselves? Like, do we have? It's almost like they don't want us to miss this opportunity. It's like, because if we had to replay this over, it's like, what would you have done back then? And it's always, hindsight is always 2020. So when we look back on, yeah, given the chance, I would definitely would have done that. It's like, oh really? Because this is the chance. It's like, how are you going to participate in this jailbreak system? It's almost like they're extending it so we have no regrets. Going, okay, look, yeah, you gave me plenty of opportunity to jump into the fight, and that's why I did. Whereas if it happened too fast, it's like, well, you're going to miss that opportunity. It's like, well, it was over, in a few days, and I didn't even know there was a battle going on. That type of thing. So, um, uh, it says because we are fractions or fractals of source or God. Basically, God is working through us. That's what they keep telling me over and over again. My guides. It's like we are representing God. We are all God particles. So, in a sense, when God is doing the work, it's being done through us because we are part of Source. So, in a sense, we are doing the work. Um, and they also said, the help that we've been getting, or as we use the term the white hats, the white hats are letting us participate in this process of emancipation. Um, Off-world entities are our families, our star families. Uh, they've been neutralizing the threats to us, but leaving enough to motivate and wake us up. So they're basically taking the poison out of the water. You know what I mean? Because as you guys know, if you've been following what's been going on, is yes, that flu that came out was actually intended to take out millions of people, but they sort of neutralized it. They backed it off enough to scare us, but not be as deadly as the bad guys had intended. Basically, everything they've been doing, like for instance, they're not going to let us do nuclear warfare. They've already neutralized that danger, things like that. Like they've been basically stopping earthquakes from happening, stopping asteroids, tsunamis, whatever. They've been basically neutralizing that. So it's like they're making it not. It's they're making it easy for us. Let me put it that way. They're kind of doing the lion's share of the work, but they're not completely coming in and just fixing all the problems. They're letting us solve our own problems too, or have things to overcome. Because of, like I said, for a few reasons, but because first of all, this is our challenge. This is our challenge, and if they take it away, it's like having your father step in at the ball game and say, "Listen, I'll show you how to throw the ball, or I'll show you how to hit the ball." It's like you go, "Dad, listen, I can do this by myself." That type of thing. And so that's kind of what they're doing. They're saying you can do it, which of course we can, because we are part of Source. So anyway, I kind of try to simplify it as usual. Like that. Okay. Basically, they said the victory is ours for the taking. So in other words, they've done the lion's share of the job, and all the off-world allies that have done the main share of the work already. That's why people say, and rightly so, we've already won the war. So it's just these small battles that they're letting us participate in for this final cleanup. Um, let's see. Okay, they also said this is the last opportunity on this timeline uh, to show what we were made of. That's that's the last part I kind of wrote, and yeah, I guess that's kind of the message I keep getting is, first of all, this is going at a pace that isn't so shocking, so it's not, this is doable, and they're basically letting us participate in it. They're not coming in as rescuers like we wanted. We want someone just to come in, kick butt, and say, okay, listen, okay, you know, all the bad guys are gone. They're all rounded up. They're doing that anyway, so it's not as if that's not being done. It's being done, but they're basically saying, show us your support. In other words, they're looking for us to validate the fact that it's like, okay, this is the real jailbreak, and we're behind you 100%. We're supporting you, and basically how we support them mostly, because it isn't necessarily as much physical, is through our consciousness and our willingness. Like, basically we're in agreement. We have to be in agreement with what they're doing. So that's kind of what they've showed me for this week. I mean, they've been showing, these are just ongoing things, you guys. But the more this goes forward, and as usual, there's no confirmed dates on anything necessarily, but like I said, by the end of this month, most of this will have revealed itself, and it'll get really extremely obvious what's going on. So that's kind of the direction we're heading. So stay positive. Like I said, that's part of what our job is to do, is just raise our vibration, stay positive, and basically participate as much as we can in whatever way we can. So okay, that's my short little video for midweek. And as things progress, I'll do probably more in the future, as you guys know. My job is, at this point, I know, and it's not much. I'm just saying, I'm just here to try to make sense of this with you guys. I'm just one of the small guides out there. So thanks for watching this video, and hope this helps somebody out there. Okay, that's it for today.